biceps that look like that?
I just play with 3 boys all day, and usually.
Again, let's see those things. Let's see. I'll show you mine. See what mine look like. Oh, Steven.
No, not Meg. Not Meg. Not near that. Hers are better. Hers are better.
Bridget, I can tell your left arm is more defined than your right arm. You're left-handed.
Me?
Bridget.
Really? Yeah. Can you really tell?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Michelle. We're just showing off our muscles.
Yeah, I can see your left arm is more defined than your right arm, which means you are left-handed. Am I right?
You are correct.
Wow. That is optical perception.
I'm going to see if I can change my mic on the fly. I forgot to plug in my fancy microphone, which means I don't sound as good.
I think you sound great. I
Awesome.
don't like this thing behind me. Doesn't matter. Look at your fancy shirt tonight, Chris. What's the deal?
I decided to dress fancy tonight. It's very, very simple.
I'm wearing a dress. Let's see it.
Look at you. We dressed up.
It's always really trippy when you do that, Bridget. I don't know why. That really reminds me of Willy Wonka for some reason.
When she vanishes into the background?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's 8:00. We should probably go live. What do you think?
Yes.
I think that's a good idea. Did you hear about the UFOs? The government's confirmed they're real.
What? First of all,
Steven Steffen, did you not hear this?
I heard it. I heard it.
Okay.
And
it's my job to hear it. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. So yes, I've heard that. Yeah, we're all dressed up except Steven Steffen.
Let's be honest. Black is always classy.
Yes, I'm always wearing this. I'm always in this mindset.
I love that you called you Steven Steffen.
It's like a thing now. That's like an actual thing.
Steven could walk into a Chick-fil-A and he'd feel dressed up. He's fine.
Yeah.
I don't, as you might know, and look at this. Here we go. Welcome back, Steven. As everybody knows, Steven was on assignment.
Yes, I was gone. I apologize for that, but I'm glad to be back. They'll never take me out permanently. Don't worry. So yes, we are good. We are good to go.
Bridget has just revealed to us that the government has confirmed that UFOs are real. I don't know if I'm being punked or not, because I don't watch the news, so I don't know anything that's going on in the world.
My mom literally texted me that aliens are coming or aliens are here. And I'm like, does that mean my brother's here with his kids? Like, what are you saying?
Well, what does that mean?
And she's like, no, this is actually confirmed. They're always over our military bases. And the government, it's been so often that the government actually has to say something.
And I'll add a little disclaimer here. All right. Mm-hmm. Because I get very excited about this stuff. Okay. Like the nerd in me gets very excited. And then you see this thumbnail, and like the thumbnail of like the video has like a UFO, this gorgeous UFO like splashing out of the water, right? Like, and you're like, man, I'm about to click on this video. I have to see this. I have to see this right now, and I'm gonna sit down before I watch it.
I hate you.
And excellent, Chris. And then you go in to watch the video, and the video is just satellite. It's like the radar footage, and it's just it's like this little tiny little dot, like this big, okay? And it's just kind of like going around. And it's just a little dot, okay? And that's what I'll tell you guys, just so you don't get your hopes up like I did, thinking to myself, man, we're about to see like a real UFO.
Listen, I got to interrupt you. I talked to a real alien today, and this is what happened. And they may be listening right now.
Happening?
You're definitely listening.
Literally, I go,
happened?
And here's how you're going to know this. I go, hey, this is a phenomenal networker. You might know this person. And they are always like on point with like the referral partners and saying things like, make it a great day, stuff like that. That's a good one too. Hi, rock stars. And I go, oh my gosh, guess what? Aliens are real. And they're circling our Earth. And then this person goes, voice memoed me, I am an alien. Make it a great day.
Wow. Make it a great day. I know exactly who it was. I know exactly who it was. Michelle, we can see your stickers. I just can't put them up on the I can't put them up on the thing. I can't put them up on the thing. I struggled the other day. This is speaking of aliens and speaking of UFOs. I struggled the other day to remember what a pizza pocket was. I couldn't remember the name of a pizza pocket.
like a hot pocket or pizza rolls? Is that a cross between pizza rolls and
or bagel bite?
You see, and I was accused of sounding dumb because I didn't know. You don't know either. They're little squares. They're like this big, and they have pizza on the inside. What are those things called, Steven?
Pizza Pop-Tarts?
No, those are pizza rolls, people.
They're pizza rolls?
Yeah, those are pizza rolls. Those are pizza rolls.
Yeah, I make them sometimes.
I struggled to remember what they were, and the person I was speaking to said, "You've never sounded old until now." And that's what they said.
Pizza pockets. And he's like, no, I make pizza rolls. I don't know where you get these pizza pockets, but you should.
A pizza pocket sounds really good to me. It's like a pocket full of pizza.
It does sound really good.
What do you got there in your pocket? It's a bunch of pizza.
I can tell.
It's a bunch of pizza. How you guys doing? It is Wednesday night. It's my favorite. I just love Wednesday night. Welcome aboard. That's it. Wow, Eileen to the rescue.
Yeah, the branding on this.
Tostitos. That is exactly what I was trying to find in conversation, and I couldn't find it.
Yes.
Eileen's got it. Thank you, Eileen, for coming up with that. Well, how's everybody doing tonight? Nice to see you guys. Nice to see everybody that's out there too. It's Wednesday night. It's the night that we're here. Topic number one we've covered in full, which was that Bridget has told us that UFOs are real.
Listen, do your research. Yes, that's all I'm going to say about that.
So as you guys know, we're here every Wednesday night. We're here simply for one reason, and that is to provide value for anybody who happens to come on board and hang out with us just for the short time that we're here. And that value that we provide is helping people grow their businesses, helping them become better in their lives and in their business lives. Just so, overall, the kind of stuff that we do. Stephen, I'm inspired that you're here. Stephen was on assignment last week. He's back this week. So the conversation will be a little more lively. Stephen, I don't know if you got to watch last week. Bridget and I had a contest to see who could do the best impersonation of you.
Good Lord. I have not watched it yet, but I'll have to.
Okay. I think I won. I won.
Okay, what I will do is I will watch it, and next episode I will declare a winner.
Okay.
And I'm going to be very, very strict. I know myself very well, and I'm very ridiculous. And so whoever said 110% wins it immediately. No, I'm kidding.
I don't even think I said 110%, but I believe I won this thing. So
I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared.
Tune in next week. I didn't even make coffee for this, Bridge. Tune in next week, and we will see who won. Thank you.
Yes.
Didn't work.
Maybe I'll even have a prize for you guys, whoever won. Maybe I'll even have a prize.
Ooh, I love prizes, especially since it will be me getting it.
We'll see. Okay. So tonight, and we're here again tonight to talk about marketing, to talk about business growth, to talk about personal growth. And I think everybody, if you don't know who that is over there, Bridget or Stephen, you got to just watch a couple of the former episodes. You'll figure it out pretty quickly.
Stalk us on Facebook. You'll know.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll figure it out. So, Bridget, what are we talking about tonight?
You know what? I say we talk about client interactions and client relationships, because I believe everyone listening in right now talks to clients every day, right? Anyone not talk to clients?
That's true. I do. I talk to clients every single day.
All day long, every day.
All day long. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we do. So we're talking about client relationships, client interactions. I'm going to put that in the chat. Topic 2.
Topic 2. Please no one talk about topic 1 tonight. Just do your research. We want to get down to business.
Topic 2, client relationships. Bridget, what is your relationship like with your clients? What is that like? How does that manifest?
Well, first of all, it starts with taking the business out of your relationship, so your relationships bring you business. And so I know you're like, what is that?
You just listen. That literally was like a word jigsaw puzzle that you don't have the picture to try to put the pieces together, and you're sitting there.
You spoke like Yoda. You just spoke like Yoda.
Let me clarify. So, it's so important that when you talk to a person in front of you, it's important to get on their map. Right? It's important to know, and that's a coaching term, guys.
So listen, Bridget, you know what? I'm going to challenge you this week, and please, I'm challenging you. No coaching terms this week. You can't.
All right.
Okay? You can't say things like, okay, you're not inviting anyone to the party. You're not partnering with anyone. You're not hiring or firing any emotions. Okay. You're not leveling anything.
Yeah.
You're not showing up in your skin. Whatever that means. I'm always in my
no space of radical self-acceptance. We're not saying that.
I can't level up anymore. I can't level up anymore. Okay,
I'm gonna challenge you because I consider you to be at an upper level coach. You're up there. If you're not the most accomplished coach, I know you're certainly their equal. So you know, and I know a lot of coaches, and a lot of them are incredible. And you know. So can you do it, Bridge? Can you go the night without using coaching jargon?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. So what it means when you have someone in front of you, you just want to talk to them like they're a real human being. You just want to say, hey, what's going on in your world?
Yeah.
What did you eat for breakfast today? I'm still eating breakfast, and it happens to be soy yogurt with blueberries. What's going on? Like literally just a normal conversation. Just a normal conversation. I would say that's the best way to start. And I know I've heard you say this, Chris.
Go ahead.
And the best way to start a conversation with anyone is to say, tell me about you.
That's not what I say. That's close to what I say.
Okay, well, I just transposed it into Bridget language. Tell me more about you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I say.
I love to start conversations by asking people a single question. And Bridget, may I tell a story about you in this question?
Oh my, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You are very hesitant.
You might not know this story, but I love to say to someone, I love to start conversations with an unexpected question. And I love to do it. And there are lots of unexpected questions that you can ask people. You know, one of my favorite is because I truly care about this. What's the most intriguing thing that happened in your world today? I love to start a conversation with what's the most intriguing thing that happened in your world today. So here's the story. Bridget, I revealed this to you one day.
Yep.
And without exaggeration, 3 days later, I had a meeting with someone, and it was my very first time meeting them. And I get on the phone with this woman, and I said, "Hi, what's the most intriguing thing that happened to you today?" And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, does Bridget coach you?"
Incredible.
And I said, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "I had a meeting with Bridget yesterday, and that's what she asked me to start our conversation."
That's incredible.
It was so great. That was the number one person that it just came out. We had just talked about it, and I'm like, well, I just said Chris's question.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing I've ever heard. But that is it's a great way to start the conversation.
I love starting conversations that way because I truly do. Now, this is to your point, Bridget. The point that you brought up was we need to connect with people as humans. And
not aliens.
Not the aliens that Bridget believes are hovering over military bases. Also, Bridget, just by observation, what's the gigantic shadow going on you? What is going on there?
Maybe there's an alien.
There's one. Look at that.
I just spit my coffee out on my. Hold on. Wait. No, it's getting bigger. Hold on. No, better. No.
Wow.
Wait. I don't know what's happening.
It's very interesting.
You're fine. You're going to be fine. Here, I'll help you. I'll help you feel better about things. You ready?
You know what?
Larry's just like, LOL.
Can some people are like, what's going on? Bridget, to your point, when you sit, welcome back. To your point, when you're sitting talking to someone, you want to have a human to human conversation with them. And it is so annoying to me how meetings always start, "Hey, how are you? Good. How are you? Good." Come on. I know you're not good. I know you stepped on a Lego this morning and it cut the bottom of your foot and that's steered your day. We don't have to play that. And so if you start a conversation with a prospect or a client by asking them an intriguing or an interesting question, you first of all, you let people know that you're going to ask interesting questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now they can expect that they're going to have a better kind of conversation with you. And when it shifts from personal to business, they have this trust that you're going to be asking them the interesting questions about their business. Stephen.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the matter?
I love that. And I'm like the biggest, in my opinion, my background is a lot in writing and storytelling and all these things. And in my opinion, like, every story or every piece of marketing has to have a great question that gets people thinking. And a lot of times, like, what I would say in a conversation there's a couple things that someone taught me, and these aren't things that I really even had to consciously start to like do. They were just more things that once I learned them, I really, really loved them. Basically, and shout out to Craig Delavoye. He taught me some of this stuff, but one of the things he taught me in business is he who talks the most, or he who talks less loses or wins. He who talks less wins. I almost screwed that up completely. He who talks less wins. What that really means is this, is that when you're talking about something and you're able to really engage and you're talking a lot about your life, you feel like you're really feeling really good and feeling really heard. And so a lot of those questions, like if you ask a question like, how's your day going? And someone says something and then it just ends. Well, you failed because you didn't ask another question that really got some of that information out of them, right? So an example might be like, I ran into a real estate agent in the hall yesterday and asked him how business was going. I said, how's business going? And he gave me a line. He gave me one sentence, right? But then I said, well, we're in a seller's market. What are you doing right now with your buyers? How are you navigating with your buyers? And that was another question that got him talking. And before I knew it, I was asking all these questions and the conversation was going great. But how easily could that conversation have been, how's real estate doing? Good, great, I'm gone. Yeah. So it's sometimes about those follow-up questions that you have that really kind of go deeper on some of those subjects. How's your day going? Great. Great. What was the best thing that happened today to you?
Yeah.
What's making it so great today? But a lot of people will be like, I don't even know. I just said great just to say great, So like really ask those next level questions and don't be afraid to ask multiple questions and get them talking and you'll win the relationship.
Bridget, what I notice about you and when I hear testimonials about you and when I see you interacting is that you genuinely care. I mean, you have this air of caring about you. And you can tell you care not only about your clients, but your prospects and your friends. You have this, it was probably the way you were raised and how you learned to be an adult. You care. How do you carry on with what Stephen said, which is asking the probing questions? How do you carry that and then transition that towards a more meaningful conversation that then leads to the business conversation?
So obviously, first, just having that fun conversation, and then saying, what do you love about what you do? Like, what is one thing that you are inspired by in your life or your business today? Really just starting to ask that question, but plugging in with what they love about it, what they're inspired by. Hey, what's a good moment that happened to you at work today? Like, or in general, and they may say, oh, that a good moment? That doesn't happen, and naturally people start to gravitate towards talking about the things that they don't like realistically. So the more that you listen, like Steve and Stefan said, the more it gives you content to play with, to possibly give someone a solution to help them gift themselves a shift. I wanted to say
no, take it back. Take it back.
Yeah. All right. The more, look at my muscles. Gosh, I am just so strong today. Okay. The more, I don't look at myself. I'm a mom. The more you're able to create that relatability or like relate to that person in front of you. Yeah. And so, but they're going to naturally gravitate. The more questions that you ask, the more statements that you're able to transform into questions. Like for those people who are in business, it's really easy to constantly bombard people with information, to throw all of these things of how you can help them without actually understanding where they're coming from. One of the questions I asked Chris is, I'm curious, when you thought about meeting today, what was your thought? And sometimes when I'm meeting with someone for a direction session, they went all the way to left field and I had no idea they were thinking that. So the sooner you can get into someone's head and their heart and understand where they're coming from, the easier that opportunity to help them solve their problems faster becomes, because then you're just reiterating their information back to them. Like, so you're telling me this is what you're experiencing, and then you can plug in different points of solution that you can help them with. Like, what is this?
You make an incredible point, is that when you have these questions, you really do get to know your prospect at a whole new level that will help you find those solutions that are exactly right for them. And this is true of anybody. I'll share with you this. One of my favorite questions to ask during a conversation is asking somebody about a particular time frame when they were doing a particular thing. And so, like, I don't want to call anybody out because these were private conversations, but I have a client who is an incredibly successful entrepreneur, and I was talking to her one day, and I said, in your entrepreneurial journey, and then this is the question that I suggest you try, is I want to ask you two questions. Tell me about your greatest struggle, and then at the opposite end, tell me about your greatest success. And I want to hear about those two things. So as you think about your history, what was your greatest struggle and what was your greatest success? Fascinating, the answers you get. This person in particular, and I certainly don't want to give away too much information, but he or she told me that she lived in a garage in a big city for years, not knowing where her next dollar was coming from while she was trying to make it. And I was just like, how many people have the guts to let that be the biggest struggle? And I will never forget that. In every conversation we have, I see, as she's talking about her entrepreneurial, her current entrepreneurial vision, I see all of those pieces that built up to that. Would have never seen that had I not asked the probing questions. And I have my friend Rich. He has labeled me a conversational crowbar because I ask the hard questions that that pry things out of people. But when you ask somebody, tell me about, while you were doing this, what was your greatest struggle? And then at the other end of the scale, what was your greatest success? You learn so much about how someone thinks about themselves and their business and their lives.
Exactly. And I kind of want to, I'm just going to add to that. The goal is to create an experience within that conversation, within that communication. You want to break free from the way of doing things, that track of like, hi, how are you? It's a dead end, and that normal, this is how I can help you. This is it. You want to go into creating that experience. And Chris, what I love about what you said is you did that. You stepped them out of their day, step them into an experience. We're able to create that moment of real connection with someone where they were bearing their soul to you, and you were creating trust, you were creating an experience with them. So therefore they absolutely already feel connected to you. And that next step, how you can help them more with listening to them is it's simple.
I have a client. I'm thinking of another client story. This client is an accomplished artist, and I asked her that question one day, and it was actually public because we did it in an interview. And she told me her greatest struggle was in art school when in one of her classes she was voted. They voted for this art that everyone did. She was voted the worst. They actually took a vote to see who was the worst. She told me that was her greatest struggle. Class. What's that, Stephen?
So that's an insane class. That's a tough class.
She told me that was her greatest struggle and her biggest accomplishment because it was the tide turner for her. Wow. It was the thing that propelled her forward. So that's amazing to me. So my tip: ask the hard questions, ask the probing questions, ask people about the binary poles. Ask them, what was your greatest struggle? What's your greatest success while you were doing this? You're going to learn so much about someone. It's going to change your relationship with them.
100%. Why are you allowed to say coaching terms like binary pole?
Binary pole isn't a coaching term. Whatever. I'm not a coach.
It's yours. It's your coaching.
No one's worried about me saying coaching terms. That's hilarious.
Stephen, laughing a little too loud. Stephen, what's your take on asking like hard probing questions?
Oh, I love it. Like, and the truth is like, what really stood out with what you were saying is that really, to me, I think people connect so much over struggles. I think if you, when you hear someone's struggle, like I just think I ultimately think you really find a way to connect with that person, and a lot of times you can find a way to figure out how to gift them a shift, okay, and you can actually gift them a shift out of that struggle or into that new chapter, right? And so I personally think, in life, when you're coaching someone, knowing those struggles is so great, because and the best thing you can do, listen, conversations are equal parts. It's kind of like a dance, right? And so when you're doing that, when someone's sharing their struggles, don't be afraid to share your struggle as well. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, if you're gonna go 50% in on that, I'll go 50% with you. And here's this time that I struggled as well. Trust me, you guys will see each other. And the thing that stood out to me that you said, Chris, was you saw her in a completely different light moving forward. Every triumph, you also saw that fact that she was able to walk through that fire. Yeah. And so I think, I don't know if that's a coaching term or not, walk through fire, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But ultimately, you saw her walk through that fire, and that made it more powerful. That made her journey even more powerful.
Binary poles is a science term, Bridget, and I want to ask you a question, which is, how do you take the relationship with the client to the next level? And I'm not talking about leveling up. I'm not talking about how do you become best friends with them and you're texting them from bed in the morning. How do you take the client relationship to this business intimate level? I have an answer for this, by the way, but I want your take on this.
Well, first of all, it's, for anyone who's listening as an entrepreneur, the close is a natural part of business. And I'm saying a business term, but the real way of thinking about the close is giving someone the opportunity to solve their problems faster. It's giving people an opportunity to gain clarity in their life and their business. And so when you see it, it's really that, that last step. And sometimes I say something like, well, when ideally would you like to start making big moves in your life and your business? When ideally do you want to have that romance with life? When do you want to launch a company? And really just asking them that question, and saying something very I wouldn't be a coach if I didn't ask you this question, just making it as real and raw as possible, and saying, honestly, I really enjoy you. I see, and sharing the vision for what you see they could have.
Yeah. Beautifully put. Stephen, we have a couple of minutes left. What's your take? How do you take a relationship to the next level? How do you do that?
I think closing, you have to really understand that person, to some degree. But you said it right, Bridget. Make it real. Make it and here's the thing. If they say no, you've got to accept that with absolute grace. Absolute, that's okay. That's okay. Many times you will win them over right then and there. Because no might mean not now. No might mean I can't afford that service right now, but down the line, still engage with that person. But ultimately, you've got to ask. I think that's the number in real estate. I will tell you right now, a lot of people start to really succeed when they just start to ask for business. They actually ask that question. It's a very important question. Yeah. And don't try to segue into it. Don't try to sneak around it. Just ask.
That is how you take things to the next level. My take on it is very simple. You have to obsess over two things. And initially, these need to be your business principles. Anybody out there listening to this live or hashtag the replay, anybody out there listening, if you have clients, the first thing you need to do is obsess over your clients. You need to absolutely, everything you think about is about your clients' results. And then when you master that, you need to move beyond that. And you need to obsess over your clients' customers' results. So the people your clients serve, you need to obsess over what they get. And that's that second level of obsession and of caring. And when you're able to do that, and I do that with everyone that's in my training program, is I'm obsessed over the results their customers get. I've got this guy named Rob. He does credit card processing. He's in my program, and I care about the people who are swiping credit cards on his equipment, right? And Eileen, who's with us, who's with us tonight. I'm obsessed over her clients getting employed, and Larry, the water, and Bridget, your clients. I'm obsessed over the second order, who are the second level. When you can obsess over that, your relationship with your clients just goes through the roof.
100%.
Wow. Guys, tonight we've been talking about how do you develop better client relationships and how you can use those relationships to really propel your business forward. It's a very high level topic that we've been discussing tonight. And there's not a lot of things that you can implement straight away, aside from some of the questioning techniques that we talked about tonight. But these are things that every single person should be thinking about, because your business truly cannot grow until you're able to embrace this. We're at the bottom of the hour. Stephen, what's your parting words for everybody that's been with us?
Well, we talked about questions and stuff like that. My parting little gift is maybe some of your marketing does some of that as well, guys. Maybe some of your marketing asks some of those questions as well and gets them thinking ahead of time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm going to encourage everyone to really spend time working on your obsession with your clients' results and then your clients' results. If you can focus on that just for even a short amount of time and then integrate it into the way you think and the way you act in business, it will have a profound change on the results that you're able to give your clients. Bridget, as always, give us your closing thoughts and then you get the final word.
So one action step that you can actually do and implement right now in your business is notice where you can turn some of your statements about your business into questions.
Wow.
So just write down a couple statements, turn them into questions. And my parting word is it's time to take the business out of your relationship so your relationships will bring